African Voices International, Freedom in Africa.
The next Africa is not yet seen yet. So how do you define regionalism? It is a theory or advocacy of regional, and rather than the central, administration. That is like taking more concern about where you exist to transform that region to a better habitation for you and your people. I believe that is what we mean by regionalism. And we are African, and our region is Africa, which we need to start that transformation from. So based on regionalism, as you say, and once again, this is the way we define it. It's a theory or advocacy of political union, indigenous habitants of Africa. Indigenous habitants of Africa. That is by more the central liberation of African people, and bringing them better transformation from the worst or wretched condition to better condition. And I made myself clear.
Thank you, Freedom Giants Laskin. And Freedom Giants Samuel Ayiteka, you think you are ready for change as Africans?
Thank you for the question. As to whether we are ready for change or not, there's something that I learned. There are two constants in life: change and experimentation. We always have to change. That's it. It's quite unfortunate that when we grow, in fact, when we're in school, they change our classes for us. You get me? We don't decide. We go like, no, 1 term, okay, is it 9 year 2, 9 year 3. They change it for you. But then once you grow, you forget that you're supposed to be changing a lot of things in your life. You get me? You're doing something that's not working, you change it. So as to whether we're ready for change, change is something that we have to anticipate. It's something that we have to go through. Change is a must for us. If you don't change, how will we make the future better? I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Yeah, change is a must. If you don't change, we're just going to be in just a constant motion, a constant situation. If I'm speeding and then I'm running at 80 kilometers per hour, and I know I don't accelerate. Acceleration is the change. I don't accelerate. I'm going to keep speeding at the same speed. You get me? And then I'm not achieving anything different. So if you want change, you have to do something different. And that is big change. So change is a must for us. We have to really anticipate it. Sometimes, you see, it's something that we have to effect ourselves. We have to push ourselves. If you want to walk, you have to stand up. You have to stand up and take a step. You have to move. Then you start to see changes. So change is a must for us.
Change is a must for us.
Yeah, it's a must. We don't have to sit down and
So we need to be ready.
Yeah, if it doesn't even come, we have to start changing things.
Okay, thank you so much. Freedom Giants Laskin, what foundations have we set in place for change, which we are not doing right?
We black people, African, we talk about change, but the changes we need got to begin with our leadership, and a lot of changes we need to change in our society, particularly in Africa. We're talking about Africa, we black people. We're having wars and rumors of war in our continent, and those are something we got to fight. Educate the people to stop the war, because without war, or with war, when people fight war, there's no progress, right? They stagnate and eventually destroy what they already create, and they go back. And creating is hard than destroying. So why should we keep on destroying and say we want better change? No. So first of all, we got to stop the wars and rumors of wars in Africa. And then we come back to the leadership of African nations. Our leaders shouldn't be puppets to the West. They should concentrate on how they can develop Africa, make African benefit, and give a standard life. You see, but right now, most of our leaders, they endorse the brainwash the Western give to them, and they become puppet to the West. And at the end of it, or even though majority are educated, at the end of it, all they do is like, the only thing they exhibit is corruption. And this corruption is affecting most nations in Africa, including e-progress. And all this need to be stopped for Africa to progress and move forward. And I believe I made point.
Thank you so much. Freedom Giant Samuel Ayiteka, what are the problems of Africa and how do you think we can tackle them?
The problems of Africa. I don't think if I'm to even start writing them all over the world, see, I'm finished writing them. But then when it comes to problems, I think we all have problems, right? Yeah. And I strongly believe we are all on earth here to solve problems. So if you think we are here to just sleep, wake up, eat, and sleep again, then you're lying to yourself. And it's quite unfortunate that sometimes you don't even have to alter the problems, but then problems themselves come to you. So I read Why Nations Are Poor. It's actually a voluminous book. It's a huge book. Why Nations Are Poor, right? You made mention of some of the problems of Africa. Africa has a lot of problems, and I wouldn't say it's only Africa. The whole world we have problems, but then it's Africa that we want to talk about here today. One main problem that is really not helping us at all is the policies that we put in place. The policies that we put in place. If we change our policies, we change a lot of things. If there's a policy that says, okay, if you want to register a company, you just go to bring your necessary documents, go through one person, and then you have your company. Do you get me? And we have another policy that says, you have to see this person with a brown envelope and pay something. You go here, they go like, no, come tomorrow. And the whole process of you just starting a company takes you like 1 month, wasting money, and it's so stressful. You go like, really, I don't think I'm going to start this company again. It's going to be hard for you to do that. So our policies is a huge problem. The policies we make. Now come down to we ourselves. Yeah, you've noticed that lately your health is having issues. Do you get me? And I'm supposed to take a step. I'm supposed to make a decision. Do you get me? It's a decision I'm supposed to make. So it first starts with a decision. That's why I said policies. So the policies are the decisions that we make to what? To govern or to help govern us. And also help us in our activities. So we have problems with our policies. The policies that we create, and these policies are actually designed by policy makers. Do you get me? Like our politicians and all those stuff. I don't like to say our leadership is bad, our other stuffs are bad. If you go back 50 years and you start through history from independence, all the leadership that we've had problems. Most of these leaders had issues. Right after independence. Why did it happen like that? Because he makes policies that benefit only him and his family and the people who support him. So if you don't support him, then you get nothing out of it. So if you are doing something and it's only your pocket, then all of us would have issues. If there are resources in the country that are supposed to benefit everybody, one person takes it and puts it in his pocket. He sits on it, and then everybody struggles. But if we have a policy that says there should be national sharing of the cake. Everybody should benefit from what? The national resources. Then it means that all of us here get to what? Enjoy these resources. Do you get me? If there's a fund that is going to be created, an amount of money that should be given to people who want to start businesses, then everybody should be able to benefit from it. So if we all benefit from it, then it means that what? We'll be able to what? Move what? Forward. We'll be able to go what? Forward. So when it comes to problems, one of the main problems that is not helping us as Africans is our policies. Our policies. If we can change our policies, it goes to change everything in the world. Economy. Do you get me? Yeah.
Thank you. Freedom Dance Samuel Ayikeka. Freedom Dance Raskin. How do you want to see Africa in the next decade?
Well, we want to see Africa get transformed in terms of, technology, and in terms of human labor, in a sense. Right now, another problem, we Africans are facing a lot of problems. Talking about education system, before we can see that transformation we need Afrocentric education, curriculum. Curriculum designed for African, that's with our environment we live, like regional, as we define regionalism. You see, the education we're receiving presently at the Western, which Eurocentric, and it's full of brainwash, and this brainwash make our leaders become puppet to the West. So for we to see a change, we Africans need to design our own curriculum, which suit our environment. Our ancestors did it before, in the days of Kemet civilization. Those ancient times of Kemet, they were able to create institution, high-learning institution, when I say university, which the Greek, scholars from Aristotle to Alexander the Great and many, all of them came to learn in Egypt. And we talk about ancient Egypt and black people like you and me. Before there was the raid and the crusade, which the so-called European came over, disintegrate our civilization. So in a sense, black people, we don't need to look down upon ourselves. It's time we wake up and stand on our feet and rectify the mistake our people did. Like our brother said, most African nations are independent from, let's say, 1950s to, and after the independence, what do we see? Nkrumah make a statement to the world saying the independence of Ghana is meaningless until the total liberation of Africa. You see, and that statement Nkrumah made was a powerful statement, but people take it for granted. Because, why? Because if Africa is not liberated and you are looking independent, by your side there's a conflict right here, by your side there's a conflict right here. Do you think will you be free over there? Eventually the fire will get to you. So a person with sense of humor, you got to know my next neighbor got to be also liberated as I get liberated. So on this condition, it's not like to say I'm Ghanaian. No. It's like black man, home is Africa. Africa belongs to the black man. So it's always black people our responsibility to make it a better place. And there are other things we need to, as I say, we need to design our own curriculum that is Afrocentric. And also make good use of human labor. Before then, let's say each country pay attention to its people, even give a scholarship to those who can afford for education to further, because they can be beneficial to the nation. And those things all are not existing no more, which make a lot of people who can contribute better to the nation growth fall aside. You understand what I'm saying? Was, the nation got to move forward. We need a laboring force for every nation. And it looks like most African countries, we have problem of unemployment problem, which, let's say most nations, out of 100% of population, let's say 35 were good, but the rest of 65, or live in some mess, which is like waste of resources, waste of human labor. While on a normal day, those people who are being condemned can be useful to the nation when they've been given the chance. But sometimes it's like the transformation we want to see is to equip ourselves, to wake up ourselves as people, right? Not to be like nepotism, politically, religiously. No, because the tool that crumpled Africa is politics and religion. You see, they use the politics to divide and rule with, and they use the religion also to divide and rule. And these two powerful tools make the Western, topple down Africa, which we African personally need to wake up. And how do we wake up ourselves? We live on the dogmatism of Christianity and religion. And when you check the religion we practice in Africa, you realize, it's like foreign doctrine. You see, and when you come back to the political system, the politics in Africa, the politicians in Africa, they only work to satisfy the Western and make their people live in bad condition and suffer consequences they don't need to suffer. And that's what we're seeing right here. Tax evasion, corruption high, everything is skyrocketing. And majority complain about it. They have nothing to do. And you ask yourself, our leaders are they not seeing the masses suffering, and what is their thinking? So the problem is big, but we need to initiate from some point. And I feel like this initiative is a great initiative. And when we work hard, we can see the change we're hoping for. Thank you all.
Thank you, Freedom Giant King. Freedom Giant Samuel Keke, do you think Africans are capable of managing affairs of the global table? If we are, what has kept us in ourselves? Do you think we as Africans, we are capable of managing affairs of the global table? And if we are, what has kept us in ourselves?
I still remember this sound bite from Independence when he says, Nkrumah said, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. If it comes to managing of affairs, I think, and I strongly believe that Africans are capable of managing their own affairs. But then, it's how the world works. If I want to rule over you, then I can. Now, during war times, if there's war, they catch everybody in a particular place, you become slaves, they teach you everything that they do. So if the Greeks came to conquer a particular land, how they behave, how they live, everything that they do, you learn it. But then you see, you are a slave to them. So there are certain rights and certain things that they will allow you to benefit from. Now, if it comes to us being able to manage our affairs, we always see ourselves as people who are independent. Do you get me? Number one, immediately you start to put in your mind that, you are independent, then it means that you were depending on someone. So we still have that thing stuck in our mind that we are independent, we are independent. No, we've been independent long since. Long since. As long as you are a human being, you are born, from birth, yes, you are dependent. But immediately you become mature, you grow, you are independent. But then you see, it's still in our mind that, we give independence. From who? The British. What were they doing? They were ruling over us. So now we go like, okay. And before Britain, what were we doing? You see, we were doing something. We were managing our own affairs. We were doing everything on our own. We were doing things on our own before they came. But why is it that before they came, were we slaves? No. Were we dependent on someone? No. And you see, the whole thing boils down to its centrality saying that we are now what? Independent. So that is my issue. If you are independent, it means you are depending on someone. Now, my brother here made mention of brainwash. So, they brainwash you, of course. If I want to rule over you, I have to brainwash you. So now we have the current day with slavery where you don't have to, they don't have to tell you. You see, they came here and captured us and took us outside, and now they don't have to come and do that. Well, it's marketing, it's business, so they make outside look very, very nice. You would like to go there yourself. And it's quite funny that when we go there, we do very, very well. So that's why sometimes when it comes to, we say, well, mentality, I don't want to go there. I go like, no, we don't have a problem with mentality. Why is that when we go there, we perform well, we do things well. But when we come down here, it's so bad, and then we don't make things like that. So if it comes to us being able to transform things and then take things into our own hands, we can. We have people who are very, very capable of doing that. Ghana used to be the star of Africa, as I've said. But then now, if everybody wants to talk, they all say, oh, Rwanda. People keep talking of Rwanda. Ghana is way, way more older than Rwanda. But then you see, this is a country that came out of genocide, serious war. Not just Ghana didn't even come out of war. This is serious war. But you see, they came out of it. And Kagame took it upon himself to transform the country. When you look at it and you read into it, it's the policies that he put in place that helped Rwanda to be what it is. So if it comes to Africans, we can change things. We have plans as a continent to spend one currency, but you see, I think when we want to go forward, one also pulls that back. But you see, these are decisions that will change the continent as a whole. It will change the continent as a whole. So you see, we have the ideas, we have the things we want to do. However, sometimes the actions, implementation becomes a problem for us. Do you get me? Implementation. So if it comes to our ability to manage our affairs, we can do that. We have that ability to do that. We all have that ability. I always say that the truth is sometimes as Africans we talk too much. We talk too much. And we need to act. You see, a lot of people are leaving the country going out for it. They say green pastures. Yeah, my area like this, the boys just like, and you see, my issue is that it's not only academically. People who are not even in school feel like no. So when it comes to academics, everybody is running away. When it comes to people who are not also in the academics, they're running away. So I feel like, what's the problem? You see, they believe the grass is what? Green over there. So I always tell people that no, the grass is not green over there. It is green where you water it. You get it? So if you water here, the grass will be green. Now whatever grass that you see there was watered. Why don't we water ours? It's difficult, I know, it's hard. But we have to make strong decisions. When I say strong, it means that you make the decision and your yes is your yes, unopposing. If it's your family member and he comes, he says this, no. But you see, sometimes it's so difficult for us to do. So all like cases like that also take us back. But we need to be able to do that. So if it comes to changes, we are really, really capable of making the changes in our lives. And in Africa as a whole. But then I strongly believe it will start with each and every one of us. I'm making my own change in my life. And I'm making changes. The little things that I can do, I'm trying to do them in my life. Do you get me? I don't sit down thinking, oh, I want to go outside there. I don't see outside there better than here. And it's not because I'm purely African. No. I strongly believe that wherever that I find myself, I can do something there. Like I just know I can do something there to improve whatever situation that I'm in. And anytime I make improvements, I see the results. I see the results. And all this comes down to the decisions I make. So if it comes to us managing our things, we can strongly do it. We don't need people dictating to us and saying, hey, you guys should do this. You guys should allow this in your country. You guys should do this. No, we know what we can do. We know what is best for us. Do you get me? We know what is best for us. But then as long as I want to keep ruling over you, I'll make sure I cripple you, I handcuff you, and then make sure you can't do certain things. Do you get me? Things that you can do that will be beneficial to you, I'll make sure I cripple you so that you can't do it. And then what I tell you to do, you do it. So it's all a game. So we also have to know how to play our cards well. Because whoever that is crippling you is also going to stop. He has to benefit from you. So if he has to benefit from you, why should he make you wise and smart? If you become very enlightened, he can't use you again. He needs to sell trash to you. So if I have to sell trash to you and then you become wise, can I sell it to you? No, I can't. People who do people at Circle, they do people who don't do anything. People like, oh, come, I think he's not smart, I can dupe him. But even if they dupe you once, next time you're smart, you go like, no, I'm not going to allow this. Do you get me? So all I'm saying is that we can make the changes. We can. If we want the grass to be green, we have to water it. We have to water it. If there's anything you can start small, let's start small. In the next 5-10 years, we will make things better. Africa will be better. So that's what I have.
Thank you so much. Freedom Giants were asking, is change possible in Africans, and how can we sustain the change?
Yeah, change can be possible in Africa, and how do we get that change? You know, as we say, we are young folks advocating for change in Africa. And young folks advocating for change, what our expectation? And we can see no change without certain mistake in our society. Because Ghana, we have peace in Ghana, right? But there are some other conditions which the people are going through are severely affecting their life condition or our life condition as people. You know, most time we talk about change, is our change only saying or we acting to see that change manifest? That's another thing. You see, and most people who are eager for a change are being crumpled in a way they can, finance to see those changes manifest. And that's one big challenge we African or conscious African people are facing to see a better challenge in our society. Moreover, leadership of Africa per se need to really change from that state of nepotism, favoritism, tribalism, political and religious, need to be reanalyzed, because you represent people, right? You don't represent religion. You represent people, you don't represent your family. You represent a whole masses of people. So as you stand for people as politicians or advocate for leadership, want people to put you in that position, your responsibility, or first thing you got to know, you are servant to people who you are here to save, for them to recognize you as a leader. And most leaders in Africa abuse their people, right? Instead of creating conditions for their people to benefit and work as people, they deny those conditions. The majority feel like, okay, greener pasture will be where we can make it. And the moment anybody tries to read greener pasture, you become individualistic. Even though if you are conscious, you only go over there, your conscious idea, which you got to impart in your fellow men, you put it aside. Either you decide to go wash plate or do some other thing to survive, and eventually while away time, and the next moment you see yourself, well, you might see you make it in life because you get a job, you do something, acquire money, come down to Ghana, buy a house. But all those deeds, you divert from the main cause before you. You see, we don't need black people, we need to run from Africa to go nowhere, say we're going to make our life better. Africa is the habitation God put we straight. And this is our land, this is where we got to make a better place. Then why are you running from here? As my brother said, We need good policy to govern we as people. And these policies, well, the Western will not really see Africa feel like the way we're talking about it. They also like to benefit from Africa. But on the beneficial term, they don't need to explore it too much as we see presently. Like African, we sit on resources, gold, diamond, and all those stuff. Almost every part of Africa have resources, right? Including oil and all those stuff. Then why are we poor? Why do we got to go to IMF to go borrow money before we can construct our roads and all those stuff? You ask yourself. Everything you have on your line is hot commodity, and the world need it every day. But every day you're borrowing from the man who don't have anything. Ironically, ask yourself. You see, so me, I believe really to see a transformation when our leaders become more conscious to deal with Africa than to have that idea, say let's manipulate our people and own properties in abroad and count ourselves noblemen and rich men and make the indigenous people poor and make them feel like they're living at hell. You see, and those are things most politicians or leaders in Africa are doing. They deny the people their rights and took majority of the things which the people got to benefit from them for their personal self-greed and motive. You see, so that become our problem, and also the way we invest our funds. Most African nations, as we say, make money every day and night, but every time IMF is on Africa, Africa is going. And this owing actually make we African believe, say, when we continue owing, that means we have no freedom in the future. The only thing coming back to it is neocolonialism, which include master fight. You know, which Haile Selassie alongside Nkrumah, they start fight earlier on. Before then, the puppet master quickly changed another set of man then with the so-called coup d'etat vibe, and to a level they can't get people who they want to use against their own people, like present politicians we see today. So you know, African our problem is, well, it's a lot of problems though, but we can simplify it. One, we need to stop the wars and rumors and war in Africa. Second, our leadership. The leaders should know they are servant to their nation, right? They are not there to rob their nation and give to the white man. That's the second one. And we need to have education system where curriculum is being designed by our own selves to suit the environment we live. You see, and also create more means or create more job for the masses, for them not to run from their home, seeing the white man country as a greener pasture. I believe by doing all this, you know, Africa can get transformed bit by bit, and maybe eventually to a level we want to see it to be. Yeah, thank you very much.
I hope you are enjoying the discussion. Freedom Giants, Samuel Ayikeka. If we stand tall as one anatomy, how far can we go to transform the global anatomy? If we stand tall as one anatomy, how far can we go to transform the global anatomy?
When it comes to us even transforming the global anatomy, I think Africa is already doing that. All of us either have a Samsung phone or an iPhone here, right? There are batteries in it. There's cobalt. Cobalt comes from Congo. You see, but then we have these devices in our pockets. The companies are not owned by any African. In fact, these battery manufacturers are not even Africans. What they do is that they just come in, they buy the raw materials, they take it there, and then they make everything, transform it, and put put the cobalt, transform and then get the batteries, and then put them in the phone and sell it for a high price. So if it comes to Africans standing as one, I always like to use this scenario that we always see. I think there was this, way back when I was young, they used to say, when you take a broom, you take a single piece, you can easily break it. But when you hold them together, it's hard for you to break it. So there's power in unity. There's power in unity. If we want to transform and then also go out there and stand and let the globe know that yes, Africans are also Africans, then we have to take things into our own hands. That's why I said we are capable of doing that. The truth of the matter is most of the global resources are from Africa here. But then it's quite unfortunate that we have a brain drain. We don't really have resources being drained from us. We have a brain drain problem in Africa here. Most of our smart people are leaving. They are all leaving to go out there. Now, if you go out there, one thing is they make best use of you. I have a friend who is in the US and is in the army now. I'm sure when he was in Ghana, if he had wanted to go into the army, it would have been a whole mess. Like he has to go and see someone, protocol, all those stuff. You see, that's what I'm saying. All these are policies that are put in place to just discourage people. Because the truth is, if you want to go and do something, they try and make it difficult for you to do it. So those are the policies. If we change it, and we make a policy that says that, yes, we have our gold, why not us refine our own gold then? Because he who has the cash makes the decisions. That's why Americans can decide what Africa should do. China can decide that, oh, okay, you guys should do this. Because they give you the cash. If you owe me, the Bible even says, it says the borrower is what? A slave to the what? Lender. As long as I give you money, and then I make sure I give you enough debt to cripple you. When I say cripple, you can't pay back. If I give you enough debt, you just become a slave to me. So we keep accumulating debt. Why? Because if this water was processed, but then we all know we have rivers and other stuff. So we take our own, and there's water everywhere, so we get the water. Why don't we process it ourselves and then put a price on it? Once we process, put our price on it, we can sell it for what? A higher profit. And if this profit comes, we plow it back. We keep it. The national coffers, it goes back there. If we have our money, nobody is going to dictate to us. Do you get me? If we have our money and we go outside and we can also talk, we say, oh, okay, yeah, so America, you need money. We can also give you this amount of money. We give them money. They don't tell you, hey, do this, do that. No, they don't do that to you. But then the truth is, how to even get the money, we have issues with it. So if we want to stand at the forefront, we have to what? Improve our economies. That is number one. That is the main reason why we see a lot of issues are coming. Like, these people are still ruling over us. Africans are this, Africans are that. Yes, because your economy has issues. If your economies have issues, bro, you don't have money. If you don't have money, I can give you money and tell you what you should do. And as long as they keep giving us aid, the last time I checked, I know it was Ghana Beyond Aid, but it looks like it's not going to be achieved anytime soon. Why? Because, yes, we still have oil, and then the oil is being transported in each one state. We have gold. Ghana is the second largest cocoa producer after Côte d'Ivoire. Cocoa producer. When it comes to gold, I don't know, but we are still in the line. You see, we have all those stuff. We have oil, we have all those stuff. But the truth is, we take it out there in their raw state. In their raw state. There was this case in Zimbabwe where there's this company, there was this national company that was owned by the state in Zimbabwe. I think that was during Mugabe's time or something. What happened is that the government wasn't running it well, right? So it fell into debt and the company was struggling. So these foreigners came in and said, do you know something? We want to buy the company. But the truth of the matter is we don't have money. That's what they told the government. We don't have money. But what we'll do is that we will take the company, run it, when we make profits, then we'll pay you your money. And the government said, oh, okay, that's fine. That's okay. So what they did was that they took the company, ran it, made profits, and paid for the company. Meanwhile, all this while, this company had been in the country, and they were not doing anything better with it. Why? Because you make policies. You see, and my problem is that when we're making policies for our very own black people, you see, we make it strict, we make it so strict. Like, hey, but if another person, a foreigner comes into place, we make things easy for him. We're like, oh, okay, you know, this. And that is what we do to investors. When investors come here, just a few who have issues and struggle like that, most of them, they don't try to make things difficult for them. Yes, as I said, cash is king. So they transformed the company and paid them and then owned it. It's theirs. And they're still making money out of it. So if it comes to we being able to stand in front, see, it has nothing to do with the knowledge we've acquired. No, please. If we change our economy, as I said, cash is king. If we change our economy, we have our own money, we dictate how we want things to be, we can make our own decisions. But immediately you are broke, a broke man has no decision, you can't make anything. So when you are broke and you even go for a family meeting and they are having discussions, because you are broke, if you are the senior brother, let's say you are the eldest in the family and you are broke, and let's say your fifth born, I don't even want to say second born, at least second year old, fifth born, who is wealthy and is rich. You see, they always ask me, what decision do you have in place? Now you the broke, you want to talk, they go like, please keep quiet. Like, I think this guy is saying sense. If you are broke and you are even saying sense, people don't listen to you. But if you have cash and you talk, people listen to you. So it's economy first. Once we transform the economy, we can also make our own decisions. But if the economy is broke, it means all of us are broke. So I can give you money and tell you what I want you to do. Give you money and tell you, hey, implement this so and so thing here. And then if you don't do it, I'll deny you of what? This money. Let's all not make it look like it's not about the money. It's really the money that they are using to control us. It's really the money that they are using to control us. It is. There's no, if they tell you to implement any decision here, you say no, they tell you, okay, that's fine, we'll withdraw our aid. That's the first thing they tell you, we'll withdraw what? Our aid. The aid is not, it's the money that they are giving you. Immediately they withdraw, you'll be like, hey, they will be hungry, we can't. No, let's allow it. So then you allow them, they give you the money. So let's transform our economy. If we transform our economy, we can go out there and make our own decisions. Do you get me? If you don't have money and decide, oh, okay, I'm going to work hard, make money. Once you make money, you get the respect that you want to get. People will respect you because, hey, he's not that broke guy who was begging me. Now the guy has his own money. So if I say A, you can also say B. Because you go like, yeah, you don't feel me anymore. So once we transform our economies, it's going to go a long way to help us. And how do you transform? That's what I said. If the policies are hard and everything is hard, please, I think all of us can start something. I told one of my friends, hey, start something. You see, you are working, your office job here, start some poetry. And he started poetry. If I'm working with you, I try to tell you, no, just do something. I'm not saying do something big, just something small. Start first year, second year. By the time you check, you'll be growing little by little. I'm not saying things are easy. Things are not easy. But you see, if we want to transform the future, we have to start now. So just start it now. And let's not sit down and say, oh, you know, there's no employment, there's no this. Yeah, we know. There's no employment, but start something. 5 years time, it will grow into something. And once you have a business, and 5 of us have businesses here, we can employ close to 20 people. And that is going to change what? And help the economy improve and grow. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Freedom Giants was Ken. What are some of the tenets of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah which we have lost and we need to bring back as an anatomy?
Thank you very much. Yeah, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was one of the greatest Pan-Africanists. And then he spoke about unity in Africa. Africans coming together and they can be able to take care of their own affairs. You know, on this, the issue right here, we Africans, we are not centralized. We've been divided and ruled, and we need to organize and centralize. Until we organize and centralize, I don't think Africa can see, you know, what they really we wanna see the future to be. And Nkrumah said a lot of things which, you know, other leaders abounding and all those stuff. And when we bring all to light, are we this generation ready to implement some of this ideology? Are we ready? That is the question. Because right now, when we take even Ghanaians, out of 10, asking about Nkrumah and Nkrumah legacy, majority of them say they don't know the deep history. Many say that history is fading away, and black people history fading away, Ghana history fading away. Why is it fading away? Because the West is trying to brainwash the young generation not to have faith in their leaders who get independent or make this place conducive for them to live presently. Make we, you know, growing forthcoming right now, we are bounding a lot of teachings of our old folks, and which also become like crisis in our domain, and we're fighting to overcome. Until we go back to study our history back again, I feel like we will be able to rectify their mistake and then define better future of Africa, which we say the next Africa. Thank you very much.
Our last question, all our panelists will share their views. What are our last words to all those who believe the African anatomy can drive the change forward? Your last words to all those who believe the African anatomy can drive the change forward.
Yeah, my last word will be, I think we should take each step a day. So one step at a time. Let's start with our own selves. You see, if you want to change anything, if you want to change how the globe sees Africa, I strongly believe we will start with the individuals first. Let's say I was somebody who was fat. Do you get when I say fat? Like, I have so much fat in me that it has become detrimental to my health. And I go out there and I go like, yeah, you know, you guys should live a healthy life. But then the truth is, I'm not living one. I'm not. I'm struggling. I'm sick. You see me struggling with it. If I want to make that change, I have to show that what I'm really concerned about my health. What do? Change the way I eat. Go out there, exercise. Now you see, when we talk of change, we make it look like change is easy. Please, change is not easy. It's not like, you see, Isaac said something. He said we have to be radical. That's all about change. I told you it's a constant. We have to be what? Radicalists. If you want to change something, it has to be what? And something that you what? Initiate yourself. I try to exercise every weekend. You see, I'm not even fat. I'm as slim as some of you here. I try to exercise. I'm not exercising because I want to run a marathon. No. Because I want 5 years' time, my health should be what? Okay. Do you get me? I want in the next 10 years, I should be what? Healthy. So I try and do it every what? Weekend. The truth is, sometimes I want to wake up today. No, I wouldn't go. I have to go. You see, that is, if I run every day, I can change the next what? 5 years. I can change the next 10 years of what? My health. But if I don't do it today, I shouldn't expect anything in the next what? 5 or 10 years. There's a saying that you either pay today and play later, or you play today and pay later. Each way, you are supposed to pay. But when do you want to pay? Do you want to pay now and play what later? Or you play now and pay what later? And that's what happened with what Africans. I think we're playing. So now we are paying for it. We played a lot. See, oh, if this one comes, oh, cool, well, let's take it. You know, hey, I put the people I know. We're playing. But when you check America, after they call it independence. I don't know why Americans call themselves yes, independence, but it's just you saying, hey, madam, we don't want you to be over us again, so we want to be different from you. When you look at how they started after independence, it was sharing of the national cake. That's what I'm saying. If we want to start a business, we want to do something. Yeah, let's not make it difficult for people to do it. What decision do you have to make? Okay, so we need workers. Let's not make it difficult. So we'll pay you, use the money, do something. So they started what? Paying for it. They struggled. They did everything at the beginning. And then years later, America is what it is. I read Lee Kuan Yew's book, how he moved Singapore from the third world to the first world. And as I said, when he started, he was paying for it. Most of the decisions that he made were tough decisions. Very, very tough decisions that he had to make. And 50 to 60 years later, Singapore became a first world nation. I remember something he said. He said they went for a meeting and he saw Nigeria coming with plane, the leaders. There was these leaders in Nigeria. They came with a plane. The plane was so nice. And he came, they said private. Not even, the country had a plane. So he came in a commercial flight and he alighted and they went for the book. I was like, wow. Nigerians have money like that. They were able to charter their own plane and come like that. But he decided, no, I can't be spending money on such things. We need money to do a lot of things. When you read a book, there are a lot of decisions that you see that's really what leadership is about. Sacrificing now to benefit later. Because the truth is, we have to pay. You either pay today or you pay later. So if I have any last words, I'm going to say your life, wherever you find yourself, because I think if we make changes in our life, it's going to reflect in our environment. And once it reflects in our environment, since we're Africans, it's going to also change how our environment looks. You are either paying today and playing later, or you are playing today and paying later. Either way, you still have to pay. There's no free lunch here. You pay. So please, and I think when we pay now and play later is always better than playing now and then later on pay and then we'll be struggling. So that would be my final words.
Thank you. Freedom Giants was king. What are your last words to closely lead the African anatomic and biotic change from it?
Yeah, thank you all very much. My last word for African anatomy driving a change to the world as well. Well, we need to change our perception about life morally and spiritually. And I feel like right now we are in spiritual bondage, so I want to talk about spirituality. In a sense, this one of our great leaders made this speech. He said the temple of the Most High begins with the human body, which houses our life, at the essence of our existence. Africans are in bondage today because we approach spirituality through religion provided by foreign invaders and conquerors. We must stop confusing religion and spirituality. For religion, it's a set of rules, regulation, ritual created by humans, which are supposed to help people to grow spiritually. But due to human imperfection, religion has become corrupt, political, divisive, and a tool for power struggle. Spirituality is not theology or ideology, it is simply a way of life, pure and original as was given by the Most High God. It is the network linking us to the Most High God, the universe, each other, and nationhood and identity. The people without a nation that they can call their own are people without a soul. Africa is our nation and is in a spiritual and physical bondage because the leaders are turning to outside forces to solution to African problem, whilst everything Africans need is within them. When African righteous people come together, the world shall come together. I believe these are the divine destiny. Thank you very much.
and I have really learned a lot from it, and I believe we have all learned a lot from this discussion. And what I learned was about the problems of Africa and the leadership. We spoke about the leadership of Africa and the policies that have been put in place that is actually not favorable for the people of the nation. And as a result, most of the youth are now moving to the Western countries for greener pastures, and there is the issue also of Westernization, where we are so dependent on the countries of the West, and they dictate to us. Actually, they show us what to do, and we are going for money from them. We are always borrowing from them. So if they tell you to do something, you have no choice. You have to obey what they are saying. IMF, you are borrowing their money. You are going for things for them. So if they tell you to do something, you can't refuse them. You are under them. And those are the issues that we are facing in Africa over here. And our brothers also made us understand that we need change in Africa. And for us to have this change, it depends on each and every one of us. We, the individuals, we need to stand tall, and we have to be radical to be able to bring about this change in Africa. And as our brother mentioned, that the leadership do not have to be selfish. Most of the time when these people come into power, it's about how they are going to launder money, how they are going to be rich, how they are going to help close relatives of theirs and put them in certain positions. But when these leaders come into power, it's not about them being selfish, but they must stand for and make sure that the Africa that we are in is a better one. So I believe today's discussion has really been a good one, and it shouldn't just be a discussion that we just come here, we come and share our views. I believe Africa should be this, Africa should be that. We need to change, but we need to put it into practice. From everything you have come here to listen, everything our Freedom Giants have shared with us, Freedom Giants Samuel Ayike Kind, Freedom Giants Raskin have shared with us so far. Let us make it a point as individuals to put it into practice, and not let it be like, I just came for a program and we had this discussion and after that, that is it. Thank you.